Good morning and welcome to the 2020 Northwest Brain Tumor Walk. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Like many of you, this is a date I've had circled on my calendar all year. And although we recognize this is not what anyone had envisioned for 2020, we thank you for joining us today and for your continued dedication to the critical mission of the National Brain Tumor Society. While COVID-19 has created many urgent healthcare needs, we recognize that the needs of the brain tumor community continue to be urgent and unmet. We are here for you, and we will not allow the coronavirus to stop us from carrying out our vital work in support of the brain tumor community. With that said, we have a great program planned for you today. You'll hear from our CEO, David Ahrens, and our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Kirk Tanner, about the important work underway to conquer and cure brain tumors once and for all. You'll hear from members of our local community about why they're in this fight with us. And together we'll cheer on the incredible accomplishments of our Northwest Brain Tumor Walk teams, and we'll honor and remember our loved ones. Before we get started, just a few quick reminders that there is still time to share this Facebook Live, post your in honor of bib, and let your network know that you are watching with us this morning. 2020 participant and survivor shirts will still be sent out to all registered participants. So if you are joining us this morning and have not yet registered, you can do that now at braintumorwalk.org/northwest, and your shirt will be shipped in the coming weeks. You can also stay connected to this community year-round by liking the Northwest Brain Tumor Community Facebook page. And now I'm pleased to introduce our CEO, David Ahrens, who's going to tell you more about how your fundraising, participation, and support is helping move the needle in important ways.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm honored to be here with the Northwest Brain Tumor community today. I want to first acknowledge that we're facing uniquely challenging times, both in terms of health risk and economically. I know many of you are going through a very tough time right now, and we all need to stick together. Thank you to all who have been supporting NBTS and our cause during this period, and thank you to all who are participating today. It's great to be with you. We truly appreciate all the sponsors of this event for standing with us as well. As you know, COVID-19 is a terrible crisis, but a brain tumor diagnosis is also a crisis and will be until we have conquered and cured brain tumors once and for all. NBTS has been and continues to surge our patient support and navigation services, and I encourage you to visit our COVID-19 resources page at braintumor.org. This is such a critical time to advance our mission. We have to stand together as one community. Specifically, thanks to your generosity, we now have actionable research leads, some for the first time in history, toward new and better treatments for adults and children across a wide variety of tumor types. And NBTS successfully advocated for one of the largest federal funding increases for brain tumor research in decades, the power of your voice. NBTS is also the leading brain tumor organization speaking up for essential brain tumor healthcare during the COVID-2019 crisis. With adequate financial support and adequate momentum, these approaches can advance and mature into the kind of discovery to delivery relay system sorely needed to bring about transformative treatments in the near future. Just as we need a vaccine for COVID-19, we need cures for brain tumors, and we need them today. Now I'm pleased to introduce Kirk Tanner, National Brain Tumor Society's Chief Scientific Officer, who will share more about our treatments-focused research agenda. But again, thank you, Northwest Brain Tumor community. You're awesome. Kirk?
Thanks, David, and thank you, the Northwest Brain Tumor community, for your really outstanding support. I really can't emphasize enough how important your philanthropic support has been and continues to be, particularly in these trying times. I very much hope that you and your families are safe, and thank you again for joining us for this event today. So what I'd like to do is kind of share with you why this is such an exciting and transformative time for brain tumor patients, as We really try to harvest the past decade of groundbreaking molecular genetic research and understanding how different therapeutic modalities can be used for brain tumor patients. And that's why at NBTS, we're really using our flagship programs and Defeat GBM and Defeat Pediatric Brain Tumors to initiate new therapeutic platform to really attack 4 different therapeutic modalities. First of all, we have immuno-oncology or immunotherapy. And the idea here is to really ignite and harness the patient's own immune system to attack and kill the tumor. And what we're finding out is that timing and combinations are really important. We also have another class, what they're called DNA damage repair inhibitors. So there's a growing stable of drugs that really need to be married to the right target, the right drug, the right clinical trial design, and really efficient execution. And we're very excited about this class of molecules. Another area is tumor metabolism or metabolic codependencies. We're really focusing in and trying to find the Achilles heel of brain tumors. Turns out that brain tumors are really addicted to cholesterol and other kinds of lipids and fats. And we can kind of exploit this to have direct targeting and try to develop specific drugs that will take advantage of this. And then finally, there is a category of drugs that are called precision medicine and personalized medicine. There where we really focus in on specific molecular signatures that patients have and develop drugs and treatments that directly target that and very strong utilization of biomarkers. So again, I think this is an exciting time. I thank you very much for your support. I'm honored to work with all of you and look forward to helping to drive new treatments and medicines to brain tumor patients. With that, I'd like to now introduce Paul Gelke, who is a really inspiring brain tumor survivor. So thank you very much, Paul, and I'll hand it over to you.
How do you deal with a point where you say, why me? Why am I the one that gets cancer? That's what happened to me 8 years ago. I was having a normal Sunday morning. I just played hockey the night before, went out with friends. It was just a normal time for me. And suddenly I have this shooting pain through my head. We didn't know what was going on. My wife and I were trying to deal with what was next, what was happening, and we didn't know what to do. I took ibuprofen, I took some naps, I kept hoping it would just go away, and it wouldn't. So finally, we went to the emergency room. The doctors had us very quickly. We thought, oh God, we're going to be here for hours and waiting to see what happens. They rushed us into the emergency room. They got us in right away and started asking us questions. I didn't know the answers. I didn't know the months of the year. I was having trouble with a lot of different things that just were very, very basic things for me to know. So we were all very scared, didn't know what was happening. Well, a couple of days later, they did get me out of the hospital. They told me they wanted to do surgery and get the tumor out. So we just thought it was going to be removing a tumor and go back to regular life. We did do the surgery and we waited to see what was happening. And a doctor came in, my surgeon, and said, has anyone told you yet? And he says, you have a GBM, which is a glioblastoma multiforme. And I was just like, oh my God. And he said, don't look at anything. Don't educate yourself on this because it's too scary and everybody's different. And that's what I've learned. Everything is different for people who go through this. It's very hard to deal with. Then when I went through the process of going through doing radiation, doing chemo, and talking to my doctor, and when he told me, I think I can get you 3 years, that was so scary. I didn't understand it. It was hard to comprehend because, I was thinking, oh, this is just going to be something that I'm just going to take out the tumor and everything will be fine. And that hasn't been the case. I had to go through 18 months of Temodar, which is a type of chemo. I did that for 18 months, and while at the same time doing radiation, I continued on through the years, and and I kept that in my mind, that 3 years that the doctor said I could do. But now here I am 8 years later, and I'm feeling so great, and I'm so really thankful that I've had this opportunity to continue my life and continue to work with other people. That's why I'm trying to get involved with things here in Portland. We just moved from Minnesota, where I was a part of a great organization there, and we did a thing called Bowling for Brains, where we went bowling and we raised money for people who needed help or to help find cures. And that's what I want to do as I move into a new role here in Portland. As we start a new life here, we want a new part of what we can do where we can still help people. They can understand the cancer that you deal with when you have brain cancer, and how you can, find ways to still help people and help them understand that there is a way to still live your life and move forward. And that's why I'm going to continue to work with the National Brain Tumor Society and have hopefully have an impact in this area, and be a part of people's lives and help them grow forward and know that there is other options and there is hope if you have this disease.
Thank you so much, Paul. Your journey is truly inspiring, and we're so thankful to have you as part of our community here in Portland. Now, we will hear from some team captains about what the walk means to them as we highlight many teams participating with us today.
And I thought I'd seen something about the walk, and so I pulled it up. And kind of in that moment of helplessness, we created our team, Team Food Baby, which was Tom's prior racing team. And so he would, for bicycling, he would race under that name. And it was fun he was just a team of one, or two, a good friend would race with him. And coming across the line, it was fun to hear the announcer saying, Tom Bird, Team Food Baby. And so we decided to keep that name because he already had the blog set up under it. And we just made Team Food Baby for the Tumor Walk. And it saved us that day when we were really helpless and really down. And people joined us, and they joined our team. And we felt that love from our community again. And it felt like we were doing something just in the face of just awful.
A nice team each year, people that loved my husband, keeps his family a part of my life. My kids want to be a part of it. Makes us all feel like we're able to do something. I enjoy seeing other people from year to year. They're doing the same thing. They're fighting like I'm fighting. There's power in numbers, and it feels good to be a part of something that we're all fighting for the same thing, raising money for the same place. I enjoy this immensely. It feels great to be a part of it, and I look forward to it each year. Having a loved one with a brain tumor is one of the hardest things to go through. And I don't want anybody else to have to go through what we went through. And I will do just about anything to stop this from happening to other people.
And I remember looking for a community like this because I only knew a handful of people that could sympathize with what I'd gone through. And so when I found out about the walk and the National Brain Tumor Society, I was really excited because I didn't know there wasn't a lot of support out there for it. And I really like being involved in this community because I can meet people who've gone through this like me, and through helping and fundraising for this society, it can possibly help find a cure or treatments for others.
Thank you so much to those team captains for sharing those words, and to all the teams participating with us today. It is now my pleasure to recognize our top fundraising team and individual for the 2020 Northwest Brain Tumor Walk. Our top fundraising team is Team Toro, captained by John and Renee Gorham. Thank you so much for your continued dedication to the mission of the National Brain Tumor Society. Our top fundraising individual is Tamara Meisner. Tamara is the walk's chairperson and captain of Team Bentley. She is a dedicated volunteer who we are so thankful for her contributions to the Northwest Brain Tumor community. We now get to hear from Tamara as she recognizes another amazing individual. Tamara?
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Tamara Meisner, and I'm the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk chairperson and the 2019 recipient of the Garceland Family Champion Award. I'm honored to be here today and to award this year's recipient. Champions encourage, they motivate, they inspire, and they believe in the National Brain Tumor Society's mission. The Portland Brain Tumor Walk was established in 2006 through the Garceland family's dedications efforts in honor of Glenn Garceland. Glenn was a husband, a father, a son, a brother, a granddad, an uncle, and a friend to so many. Fortunately, Glenn was able to participate with his team, Team Glenn, for the first 3 events before passing all too soon after a 3.5-year battle with the GBM on April 5th of 2008. Glenn will forever be missed by his family and his friends, but we know that his light will continue to shine as he left an incredible legacy that people will grow and heal from for years to come. The Garceland family selflessly created the Portland Brain Tumor Walk for all of those affected to honor their loved ones. The event has grown and is known now as the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk. It continues to be a sanctuary of support to those who need it the most each year by raising awareness, providing people an opportunity to honor and remember loved ones, uniting a community, and assisting to educate the local community on the diverse needs of the brain tumor community. This year's recipient has raised over $30,000 for the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk through an annual 24 endurance motorcycle ride from Portland to San Diego. He's an incredible partner in the fight to conquer and cure brain tumors. The 2020 recipient of the Garceland Family Championship Award is Dave Marlava. And now I would like to introduce you to Dave.
My name is Dave Marlava with the Highway to Health Fundraiser Rally, and I couldn't be more honored and thrilled to be this year's Garceland Family Champion Award recipient. I wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much to the National Brain Tumor Society, especially Tyler and Jennifer, for helping make this such a successful project over the last 3 years. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors and partners. Thank you for helping us raise over $30,000 for the NBTS over the past 3 years. And more than anything else, thank you to all of my friends who have inspired me to pick up this cause as my own and who have invited me into this community and taught me so much over the last 3 years. It breaks my heart to have to delay the ride this year, but I want everyone to know my resolve is still here. The program's not going anywhere. As soon as we can return to whatever normal is, I'm going to be back riding my bike, bugging you all for money. So don't think you've gotten rid of me quite yet. Highway to Health is coming back, and I can't wait. Thanks again. I truly can't express how this makes me feel, so I'm not going to try. But thank you, everyone, and stay safe.
Today, we want to thank and recognize our sponsors. Carhill Sellers have committed 15% of all sales in 2020 to the National Brain Tumor Society. You can support our mission by supporting their amazing wine at carhill.wine. A huge thank you to Toro Bravo Inc. and Chef John and Renee Gorham. They have been incredible supporters of the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk, including hosting our second annual wine pairing dinner in February that raised over $21,000. Thank you, Toro Bravo Inc. A huge thanks goes out to Providence Brain and Spine, as well as Compass Oncology and Dornbecker Children's Hospital, who we get to hear from now.
Here within the Dornbecker Pediatric Brain Tumor Program, we strive to deliver the highest level of care for each and every patient. This includes development of novel therapies, as well as the identification of new novel molecular targets to exploit for new therapies. Development of technologies for minimizing toxicity, for improving patient comfort and care, and reducing the need for anesthesia. Foremost, though, we must focus on delivering the best care for each individual patient's journey as we work toward the development of a better future for all brain tumor patients. We couldn't do this without your help, support, and advocacy, so thank you.
My name is Robert Lufkin, and I'm a physician with Compass Oncology in Portland, Oregon. I would like to say hello to all those participating in the National Brain Tumor Society virtual Brain Tumor Walk, and thank you for participating. Although I would much rather be together outside walking, celebrating, remembering, and supporting all of those affected by brain tumors, I am thankful to the National Brain Tumor Society for organizing a virtual walk. For myself, my colleagues, and all the staff at Compass Oncology, we are so proud to be involved with the National Brain Tumor Society Walk to Defeat Brain Tumors. Most importantly, we are honored to be involved in caring for those affected by brain tumors and privileged to be such a part of our patients' and families' lives. The work of the National Brain Tumor Society is integral to making progress in defeating brain tumors. The financial support of groundbreaking research, patient and family support, and continued efforts to unite the brain tumor community are essential. Once again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in person next year. Take care.
Thank you again to our invaluable sponsors, including our national sponsor, Novacure. Your support means so much to the brain tumor community. Now we have the opportunity to hear from the WALK committee members who work so hard all year round on this event.
Thank you for your dedication to the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk. Thank you for joining us this year during such a unique time. Thank you for supporting the brain tumor community, the survivors, the families, friends, and loved ones of all of our brain tumor patients.
Together, we are getting to more effective and better treatments.
Together, we are advocating for change.
Together, we are finding more focused research.
Together, we are stronger than the disease.
We are here for you. We're here next week, next month, next year, and we won't stop until we find a cure.
We won't stop working until a cure is found.
And we won't stop working to find a cure until a cure is found.
We won't stop working until we find a cure.
We won't stop working until a cure is found.
No doubt that with the support of champions just like you all here today, we will continue to make great strides in our fight to conquer and cure brain tumors once and for all today.
Huge thank you to the 2020 Northwest Brain Tumor Walk committee members who have been incredible partners and boots on the ground working together to defeat this disease. Thank you all for joining us today. You are playing an important role as we work to conquer and cure brain tumors once and for all. Every year, the Northwest Brain Tumor Walk holds a remembrance ceremony. You are invited to join us for that virtual ceremony taking place in about 2 minutes. Jenica Castillo-Hardin will share some words about her son, read a poem, and offer a moment of silence. Those of you wanting to remember a loved one with us are asked just to stay on the video, and we will be back shortly. Again, a huge thank you for everyone for being here today.
thank you all for participating in our new virtual normal. I know typically this morning is a time of determined celebration, of community, of coming together to advocate for life, for each other, and for research. For others, today is also a time of deep, deep sorrow and profound loss. No matter why you're here, there's room today for all emotions. Right now, what I'd like to do is take a short moment to acknowledge the profound sorrow and loss. I know it is really hard to carve out time in this kind of atmosphere to quiet ourselves enough to remember those who are no longer with us. Today, I remember my son Levi, who at just 3 years old was diagnosed this past August with a terminal brain cancer called DIPG, and he passed away just 2 months later. It is in his honor that my husband and I commit ourselves to join in the fight for a cure for brain cancer. I'd ask if you could to just stop for these 2 minutes and quiet your heart. We all have our own story. Today I've been asked and am honored to read a beautiful poem by Sylvan Kamens and Rabbi Jack Reimer called We Remember Them. After the poem is read, I invite you to take a moment of silence for as long as you'd like, as the song plays and we conclude our time together. At the rising sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of the winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of the autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have joy we crave to share, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.